Okay, answer before you're asked. I want to give you some advice on how to strengthen and maintain your leadership's trust, especially at the progress report or review stage, right? All companies go through something called an operating cycle or a feedback loop where planning is engaged in, you look towards the future, and then you execute in the present, and then you, after different periods of execution, you look back and say, here's my past results, right? There's a operating cycle like that. It's done at the enterprise level when your C-suite talks to investors. It's done at the top management level annually where leaders in the company report to the C-suite. And then it's also done periodically with you and your boss, where you, on one-on-one, you present the plan, get the green light, start executing. And now let's talk about that progress report phase, where you're bringing news about how your results are different than your target or what your forecast was, what you agreed to, what your commitments are, right? The difference between what you achieved and your commitments or your targets is called a variance. The variances can be financial. You know, the revenue target was 2 million and you delivered 1.5 million. There's a variance of 500,000. Okay? Or the variance could be a timeline or a deadline where you were supposed to deliver something by the 15th of the month, and it looks like it's going to take you till the 30th of the month. So now in that variance report or that progress report, right, there are three approaches, strategies, hints I want to give you, which answer the unspoken expectations that your boss has on you. It answers kind of, it's sort of an empathetic view about how the situation your boss is in, where there's 10 of you or 15 of you reporting to your leader, and your leader has to aggregate that information and report up to his or her boss above you, right? And so here are the three things that you really should make sure you answer before you ask. Right? In other words, you should make sure that in your progress report, you deliver these three things. Three things are: number one, timeliness; number two, unbiased; and number three, proactive. Now, timeliness, pretty obvious, that you want to report as soon as you know something so that your leader can now aggregate and make adjustments and report up on the new information. But it's human nature to think, well, if I wait just one more week, then my bad news or unfavorable variance will resolve itself. So if I wait one more week, it's okay. And pretty soon it's late information. So there's a saying that there's nothing's worse than bad news. The only thing worse than bad news is bad news late, because your boss has to aggregate information and report up in a credible, timely way. So timely is important. Number two, unbiased. Well, unbiased is human nature to be biased, because you want to underpromise and overdeliver, right? So if 10 or 15 of your boss's direct reports are underpromising, then when your boss aggregates that stuff and reports up as to what their boss could expect, then it's not going to be, they're going to be caught with their pants down, right? Because they're getting bad information, they're getting biased information. So it's critical that you and all your peers are unbiased in their updates and their progress reports. And the last aspect, the unspoken or subtext or the quiet part that I want to say out loud, that would really strengthen and maintain your boss's trust in you, is this idea of proactivity, proactive solutions. Because in your delegated resources, you're delegated a result that you need to hit, right? And let's say new information comes in. Usually it's information that presents more of a challenge than you thought, right? And now you're going to report to your boss like, oh, well, this occurred and that's why I didn't hit my target, etc., right? Well, your boss knows, I mean, is so used to hearing that phrase, but what you need to do is to proactively provide a solution to the new information that's going to hold you back. In other words, this is old adage, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions, or don't bring me only problems, bring me solutions, right? So this is another part of the proactive, answering before you're asked, is to bring solutions at the same time you bring information that it has to do with a challenge going forward. Now, Bradley heard me say these things, and he knocked his head and said, "Oh my God, this is stuff that I've been doing, for years now," and that's why my boss is kind of pulling my, trying to pull his hair out, or keeps looking me skeptically and asks me question after question, etc. So after I learned that from you, Bradley told me I tried it. I tried to slowly become more active at answering these questions before asked on a timely basis, unbiased, and a proactive basis. And I became better and better at that. And more, my interactions with my boss when I did the progress report was much less stressful and much shorter. In fact, Bradley said the last progress report I gave was the shortest I've ever done it. I got approval, a smile, a pat on the back, and it's going to help me be a candidate for wider responsibilities. And that's what I want for you, is to, if you can understand the subtext of what's going on in the progress reporting phase of a project, right? You've been given approval, you execute, and now you're giving feedback or a progress report, right? At that phase, if you could understand, there is some unspoken expectations, and you need to answer before you're asked. You don't want your boss to have to pull teeth to get this out of you. You need to come to them timely, unbiased, proactive. Now we'll go deeper into the details of how you go about doing it, how you say these sorts of things in subsequent videos. So stay tuned, click on the link below, and let's stay in touch.